Session 5 is Shri G.S. Bist. Sir is Assistant Director Electronics at MSME EC Hyderabad, which is under Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India. Request Bist sir to please start off with the session.
Okay, so I can hear you now. Previously I had some problem with speakers, so now I'm able to hear you, and I hope you can hear me loud and clear. If there is any issue.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so I have also let me share my presentation. So can you see the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir, we can.
So I'll just maximize it and run in full screen modes. So you're able to see the slides changing, right?
No, not yet. Can you move to the next slide so that we can confirm?
Okay, I'm moving. I'm not sure whether you.
I think
No,
you are
no.
presenting your
It
primary
is-
screen, not the secondary one. So not the presentation mode.
Okay, I've maximized it. Okay, what I'll do one thing. Is it changing now?
Lights are moving.
Okay, so it's changing now, right? You can see the slides changing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll do one thing.
Yes.
I'll present in this mode. Thank you very much, Dr. Rakesh Pasadi, for the introduction. So I'm from MSME Development Institute. It is located at Naltapur Cross Road, and there used to be a signal over here, Palella signal, but recently flyover has been constructed. So that is our office, and opposite to our office is our sister concern, that is the MSME tool room, popularly called as the Central Institute of Tool Design. So they train students, and plus they also help MSME in they have CAD/CAM machines, so you can get your mold cast design from them. Yes. So, I think some of you are not muted, and so you can hear me. So I'll tell you in this presentation, I'll give you a glance of MSME sector. What is the definition and criteria of classification for MSME, and which is important. Now this is the legal definition of MSME, which stands for micro, small and medium enterprises. The classification is based on the investment in plant and machinery and their turnover, and MSME registration, how to do it, what is the certificate, that is the self-declaration on self-declaration basis, and what are the various MSME schemes. So some of you are startup, or have an idea and want to start a business. So you may overlap during the initial period. Definitely you will be MSME as well. There is another definition for startups, which is done by Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So startup is different from MSME as per Indian law, but they overlap. So why government is focusing on MSME sector? Because after agriculture, it is a major contributor to the GDP, and government wants to achieve its $5 trillion GDP target. So they have to support the MSME sector. That is why government has come up with various schemes, central government as well as state government, and their various departments for MSMEs. So you need to get the MSME registration done. So with that, you can avail the benefit of these schemes. And if you are going for loans also, MSME is a priority sector. So you get loans easily compared to normal business loan. Obviously, you have to fulfill the loan norms of the bank, and interest rates are nominal for MSME compared to regular business loans. So subsidy is there on loan. So So this is the vision of ministry. I'm not going to that because I've got other schemes to consider. So this is the basic structure of our Ministry of MSME. So we have integrated finance wing. We have the Office of Development Commissioner. So under which we are the field offices of the Office of Development Commissioner. So we directly report to them, and then the associated offices are technology centers like I told you about MSME tool room, and also we have a testing station at Sanat Nagar. So you can get testing of your products done from there, and then we have the SME wing, then agricultural industry wing, and data analytics and technical coordination section. So we also have in Hyderabad NSIC, National Small Industries Corporation. We have core of NSIC, so they also support MSME, and they are autonomous body unlike us. We are completely central government body. And then we have NIMSME, which is National Institute for MSME. So there is all over India. There is just one National Institute for MSME, which is at Yusufpura in Hyderabad. And then we have KBIC, so Khadi Village and Industries Commission, and Choir Board. So these are at all districts across India, and so these things, these and Technology Center and Office of Development, these may be useful to you. These offices, to avail schemes, various schemes of MSMEs. So let's come to the definition of MSME. So recently, during the COVID time, government Ministry of MSME revised the definition of MSME, and previously it was only based on the investment which any enterprise does. So we call enterprises, post there is an MSME Development Act passed in the Parliament in 2006. Small scale industries, then new nomenclature was changed to enterprises, micro, small and medium enterprises, MSME. So to fall into micro category under the MSME slab, your investment in plant and machinery or equipment. Plant and machinery if you are in manufacturing industry, and for service industry you will be having equipment you use to render the services. So that should not cross 1 crore. So till the time your investment, starting from 1 rupee, or 50 paise, up to 1 crore, you fall under micro. As well as your turnover should not cross 5 crore. So for startup, most of the time, the investment is less than 1 crore in the plant and machinery only. You will have other things, which you have invested in. You will have raw materials. You will have your fixtures. You will have your.
Sir, you can make your slides full screen, sir. All
full
participants are asking for it.
Okay, but I think I won't be able to change it. Then I'll see that. Okay. So. So are you able to see? I've come to that definition page.
Actually, when you click present now, you can click share all.
Share all, the entire.
Then the full screen will also be visible.
Okay, I cannot just share a window and do it. Okay, wait, hold on. There are display settings. So, okay, just tell me if the slides are changing now.
Yeah, now it's visible, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Okay. So over here in this slide, you can see the classification criteria for micro, small, and medium. So this is as per the Gadget notification which came out on 26 June 2020, and this is the current definition. So investment. There will be 3 kinds of enterprises when we talk about MSME. One is who does manufacturing, and the second one is who is a service enterprise, and third one is a trader who does trading activity. So most of the benefits for MSMEs are exclusively meant for manufacturers and service providers. There will be overlap as well. somebody who manufactures, he does trading as well. He provides certain service also. So you have to consider your major activity. What is your major activity? If you are into manufacturing, then your major activity will be manufacturing. If you are mostly doing trading, then it will be major activity will be trading. So your investment for a manufacturer, the investment should not cross 1 crore, and the annual turnover should not cross 5 crore. He will fall into micro. And even for the service provider, the investment in equipment should not cross 1 crore, and annual turnover should not cross 5 crore. So this is a common definition for all manufacturer, service provider, and trader. So for all enterprises, it is up to 10 crore. Investment should be up to 10 crore. So from 1 crore to 10 crore and turnover from 5 crore to 50 crore, you will be falling under small slab. So for medium enterprises, the investment from 10 crore to 50 crore and for small, the turnover from 50 crore to 250 crore, you will fall under medium slab. So in case your turnover exceeds 250 crore or your investment crosses 50 crore, then you will fall into the large industry. So you will not be entitled for the benefits of MSME. So I hope everybody is clear with this definition. So whether you fall into MSME or not, your investment should be less than 50 crore and your turnover should be less than 250 crore. Okay. So if you go to this website, udyamregistration.gov.in, now you have to be careful. Most of you will do a Google search of Udyam registration of MSME registration, and then Google ad comes up. So there are a lot of third-party websites, who come as ad results by Google search. So we have observed, most people go to those websites, not the official website, but it's udyamregistration.gov.in. You have to type this in your address bar of your browser, and then the official website will open up. And I'll show you how the website looks like, after I finish the presentation, and what are the steps to do it. So then you will get this certificate, if you complete the online registration. So you don't have to upload any document, you don't have to pay any money, it is free of cost, and all the details which you fill is on self-declaration basis, for getting the certificate. Once you are applying for a subsidy, if you there is subsidy for SC/ST entrepreneur or for a woman entrepreneur, or for a MSME unit located in the northeastern region, and you are claiming that, then the department from that you are claiming the subsidy, any department, state government or central government or some big corporates also, they also have some benefits for MSME if you are supplying to them. So they can ask you the proof for it, because this MSME certificate is self-declaration. You declare yourself that you are MSME, you fall into that slab, and you belong to that category. So this is online, very simple registration. Anybody can do it. And if you're not able to do it, you can go to cyber cafe. They have become familiar with it. Obviously, they charge some nominal service fee, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, and they will get it done for you. But you have to file it correctly, declare the right details. In case you are not, do not fall into SC/ST category, you should not put the social category as SC/ST. If you are, and I'll tell you in detail about that later on. So what are the activities included? So the activities, you can mention your activities by filing the Udyam registration based on the National Industries Classification Code. There is a 5-digit NIC codes are there, which I'll show you later on. So you have to select the right NIC classification. So all those codes fall under MSME, except the codes which are under forestry and logging, fishing and aquaculture, crop, animal production and hunting. So these activities are excluded out of MSME. But among these, there are few activities which fall under these three verticals. These activities are production of egg, so operation of poultry hatcheries, beekeeping, production of honey and bee bags, raising of silk worm, operation of agricultural irrigation equipment, then support activities for animal production, preparation crops of primary markets, that is cleaning, grading, disinfecting. So you are processing that, cotton ginning, cleaning, baling, preparation of tobacco leaves, other post-harvest crop activities, seed processing for propagation. So these activities which fall under the above three verticals, these are included under MSME. So if you are going to start any industry under this, you will still these included activities you will fall under MSME and you get to the MSME registration. These codes will be available by doing the registration. So certain key points I'll tell you. So what you have to do, you need an Aadhaar number first of all, and I hope everybody is having Aadhaar number, and you need a mobile number which is linked to your Aadhaar number, because you have to validate your Aadhaar, and that is done through an OTP and to your this. So you need the Aadhaar number and you need to validate it. So the mobile number should be available with you where OTP comes, and you can, in one Udyam registration, you can add multiple number of activities. You can add your manufacturing, service activity, trading activities, and both the investment and turnover criteria should be satisfied. Only then you will be issued the certificate. The certificate is issued online immediately. And
Sir,
yes.
I have a doubt, sir.
Yes.
Only registered forms has to can be, or unregistered also they can.
No, so let me go to that part. How to file with the registration. So in that, I will be able to clarify it. So we have this. I just share my this. So I just. So let me show you the portal. So you can see my browser opening up now. So I type Udyam registration.gov.in. So this is the Udyam registration.gov.in. So you have to type in the address bar over here, and you have to.
The screen not visible, sir.
Okay, screen is not visible.
I can see your screen.
You can see. Okay. So can you see now? I started presenting. Maybe there will be, based on your internet connectivity, some buffering going on. So maybe a lag, but eventually you will see after a few seconds. So I hope everybody can see this window which is open now. This is the Udyam registration portal.
Yes,
So
I can see it.
Yes. So on top, you see this beware of fake sites. So if you Google some fake websites are there, I will not go into that. And they will be similar to this website, and they will ask for your data, and then they will ask you. So you have three options over here, which gets wide, once you hover your mouse over it. So for new entrepreneurs, who are doing the MSME registration for first time, you have to click on the first top one. And for those who have already done the previous regime, it was called as Udyam Aadhaar, or in full Udyam Aadhaar Memorandum. In short, it is called as UAM, Udyam Aadhaar Memorandum. So those who are having UAM, they need to file this. And for others, for all others, you have to go over there. Now this third one option is also there for assisted filing, but it is for those people who do not have Aadhaar number. So this is a complicated process. So I'll just show you this top two, and I'll show you the top one, because it is relevant to most of them. For new entrepreneurs, once you click on this, and below you will get details, everything, what is MSME and Udyam registration, and all these things you will get if you go down. So, and you will get this NIC code PDF if you click on this NIC code on the top, and then some useful documents are there, some bulletins, everything. If you want to go through a circular, something, you can go over there. And this is the most important thing for you. So you have this print verify option. So you can anytime, after doing the registration, you can go print your Udyam certificate. You can verify somebody else's Udyam registration number, whether he has done it or he has a forged document with him, and you can print your old Udyam Aadhaar Memorandum certificate, and if you forgot your Udyam number, you can retrieve it from here. So you can print, you can retrieve your Udyam registration number from here through OTP on your registered email ID and mobile number, and you can update and cancel your Udyam registration. You can from here. So you will go over here. So if somebody can share his Aadhaar number, he is okay to share his Aadhaar number and name, then I'll show you the demo process how to do it. So once you click on this, my internet is a bit slow, I think. So it will take you to a new page, in which you have to fill your Aadhaar number and name as per the Aadhaar, and then you have to press a radio button, validate Aadhaar. So once you click that, OTP will be sent to your mobile number, and then a form will open up. So once that form opens up, it will look like this. So all of you can see the sample form.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so you enter your Aadhaar number, name, and then validate and generate OTP after filling the OTP. So over here, the drop down menu you can select, So there will be various type of organization. So the question you ask, whether only registered firms. So in India there are various types forms, legal forms of businesses. So one of them is going registered. Registration means you have to do registration with Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So they provide you this private limited registration or limited liability partnership or one-person company or these kinds of registrations are there. You can do with MCA and compliances. Once you do that registration, you have to be adhere to the compliances which MCA has. Otherwise, you can go unregistered, proprietary or a just partnership firm. So you can go that. So when selecting a legal form of business, you have to see, how risky is your business. If it is going to be risky, and you are going to take a lot of risk, in terms of borrowing and other things, and you are planning to go very big, that it will grow exponentially, has the potential to grow exponentially. So then you have to do the registration, official registration, because for your clients also, they would want to do business dealings with a registered firm, not unregistered firm. But if you want to start a small business, with less risk, then you go for proprietary. So that if you go for proprietary, you don't have to adhere to all the compliances. So less formalities are there under proprietary. With just the GST registration, basically, you can start the business. But some compliances are there of the state government, which all businesses must adhere, like registration under Shop and Establishment Act, which you have to do, and that is a trade license you have to take, and through MeSeva you can take. They are authorized to get that done for you, and then labor license. If your employment, process about 10 numbers, then you have to get labor license. Then certain other licenses, which are specific to your business. For example, if you are starting a hotel industry or you are making some starting a food processing industry, then you need FSSAI license, which is mandatory again. So that is also online. I can show you that, how to do it yourself as FSSAI and which category, but that will extend. I will not be able to complete everything. And then even for state government license, there is a portal, ESCC portal, where you can apply, and based on the parameters you select about your industry, it will show you what are the compliances of state government, and that is a single portal, where you apply it, and it will go to the respective department, and within 30 days, they have to give you the permissions. So if they have not given the permission within 30 days, provided that you have uploaded all the documents and paid the fees for the application, you can just go ahead and start the business. So that is on TSI Pass portal. So that you can take the help of district industry centers located in each district, and most of them are under the collectorate, at the collectorate building. So they can assist you in that. And obviously DCMSME can also assist you in that. So I'll proceed with this. So once you select the type of organization, you have to put your PAN, which is mandatory, and it will be verified, and then it will automatically take from your PAN number. Now if you are a registered firm, you will have a separate PAN of your company. But if you are a proprietary, you have to put your PAN. Because proprietary business means you and the business are the same legal entity. So and then it will automatically detect from the IT server, whether you have filed IT return or not, so, and then GST, if you have, you put yes, if no, you put no, if you are exempted, you put that option is also there. So, so after the PAN verification, you can select this, and PAN is mandatory now, so you have to put the PAN, and then the name of the entrepreneur will be taken from your PAN card, and your mobile number. Now you can put your communication official correspondence mobile number and correspondence email ID. Over here, it need not be your Aadhaar linked mobile number. You can put any mobile number, which you use frequently. So you will get always updating Udyog Aadhaar or printing this Udyam certificate. You will require access to that mobile for the OTP. So over here, you can select the social category. So if you are a partnership firm or a HIPSI, these are the options. So you can register as Hindu Undivided Family, a partnership, cooperative, private limited company, public limited company, self-help group, society, trust, and obviously proprietorship. So for these kinds of firm, the minimum shareholding should be 51% of that category. For example, SC, and you are partners, 3 partners. So the partner who is SC category, he should have 51%. Only then you have to put this. Likewise in the gender and especially able field as well. Then you can put your name of the enterprise over here, and then you can put and you can add over here multiple plant or unit name. So if you are starting, you would be starting with only one plant at a time, but later on you may have additional plant, so you can add always additional plant, and then you have to select from the drop down button over here that particular plant, and you have to fill the address and you have to add that. So it will be added like this, the multiple plant location. You can see over here, ABC Chemical, ABC Petro, and the address details are over here. Then the official address of the enterprise you have to enter over here, which is the office, where you are operating from. So, but you have to remember over here, these two state over here, Delhi and district east, over here, this cannot be edited. Once you have entered this, you cannot edit. Other addresses, remaining portion of the addresses in future also you can edit. Plant location you can delete, you can add new, you can update everything, but these two, state and district, you cannot add. And the thing is about this district, at the end of the form, there will be a DIC, District Industries Center, allocated to you. So for all your requirements regarding your industry, you have to approach this Delhi industry. So based on the district selected by you over here. So Telangana government have got key idea and key right scheme, So your plant should be located in that district, only then you can apply to that particular DIC. So in your Udyam registration, if you want to avail Telangana government subsidy, then depending on where your plant location is, you select this wisely, because if it doesn't fall in your Udyam registration, they may say, no, this Udyam registration district selection is different and DIC allocation is different. Your unit is at a different district, so you cannot apply. So this problem can happen. So in short, bottom line is, wherever your plant is located, your main factory for which you want subsidy, because DIC people are going to come before the release of subsidy, they are going to inspect it and see the machinery actually you have installed or not. So it should fall in that jurisdiction, and you have to select that particular district. Date of incorporation or registration. So for a registered firm, you have this on your incorporation certificate, you can put that. For proprietary firm, you can put some date, It should be a date prior to any business dealings you have done, any official invoice you have generated. So before that date, or any official other registrations you have done, so you can select that date as per your choice. And date of commencement, you have the option if you have not commenced, but you have the setup and you are or you are in the process, you can still do it, and you can select over here no, and then you don't have to put date of commencement. If you are established and running the business, then you have to select yes and put the date of commencement. You have to select your bank details. So these all things are updatable. Even once your bank changes, you may get a right now you may be having a savings account. Later on, you will get a current account. You can update it later on also, provided you have the access to the mobile number and email ID which you put up over here. So the OTP will come over here. After validating with OTP, you can update it. So over here, you have to select the major activity. So now there is another option, trading also over here. So you can select that. And over here in the search box, you have to type a simple keyword. For example, you are a engineering workshop, general engineering workshop. You have a lathe machine, this or CNC machine. Then just you are into fabrication of metal products. So metal you can type over here, keyword metal. So it will show you, once you type metal over here, it will show you some suggestions which are this. So you can select that. So this is a bit tricky part, selecting the right NIC code. And you have to select manufacturing and services, if you want to use this drop down button for selecting your NIC. So this 2-digit is the broadest classification. So there will be from 00 to 99, 2-digit codes will be there, broadest classification. Under that, once you select that, then you will be restricted to categories under that. And after selecting this 4-digit, you will be selected to the exact activity, So most relevant activity you have to select from there. So like this, you see manufacture of basic metals, So that person is doing steel, manufacture of steel in ingots, and he wants to get to that 5-digit code, So he can, in the search box over here, he can type steel or ingot, or like that he can type, and it will show the suggestions. Or he can go to manufacturing because it is coming under manufacturing, and then he can go to steel comes under manufacture of basic metals. He can select that, and then he will be shown some list. He can select manufacture of basic iron and steel, and then he can select. Or the other way to do it, just go to this NIC code. So this is a PDF document, So this is the national industries classification. All economic activities are classified by this department. So these are divided into these parts, 4 parts. So this is a huge document. You can see over here, page 193 pages are there. So all activities are classified, And if it is not classified, then there will be an option at the end. Like other reservation service activities. 99. If it is not falling, for example, you are into 791, and you don't fall into this, so that this will be there. Or NEC will be there, not elsewhere classified. Renting and leasing of other machinery, equipment and tangible goods to not elsewhere classified. For example, you are manufacturing toothbrushes and maybe bamboo toothbrushes. You have come up with this idea and you want to find the NIC code for that. You do a simple search over here, and then you can mention toothbrush. So it will take you over here. You see, this is the code 20235, manufacture of preparations for oral, dental, hygiene, and these things. So you fall under this thing. So immediately 202235, you go back over here. You select manufacturing, then you select 20 over here, and then what is it? 20235. So if over here you select 2023, and then in the 5-digit you select 20235. So I hope it is clear. So then you can put number of persons employed, and you can add multiple activities. Only one is there. You can add more activities using this add more buttons, and you can add 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, n number of activities. And then number of person employed, male, female, and transgenders. How many you have? So this also you can update anytime. And this investment in plant or machinery is taken out from your IT return. There is a write down value, which you file in the IT return. So that will be taken automatically from your filing. And this pollution control devices which you have put in your factory, R&D devices, industrial safety devices, this have to be excluded. So you put the approximate investment in these things over here, and then your final investment which will be considered will be A minus B. So these pollution control R&D devices, safety devices will be excluded when taking your investment as a criteria for classification of MSME. And then the turnover will be taken from your GST. If not, you do not have GST, then you have to self-declare this. And the export turnover is excluded from the classification criteria. So again, in net turnover, which will be considered, will be A minus B, total turnover minus export turnover. So for this particular unit, it is automatically taken. So that is why, because it has got GST and the total turnover, export turnover is there from GST. So for you, it may be available like this column over here. So you have to manually enter those fields as per your information. And over here also, if you are not filing an IT return, you have to manually fill this field. Then there is an option, there is a government e-marketplace, government departments like us, we buy from GEM. And as a personal consumer, I may be buying from Flipkart, Amazon, Snapdeal, or Moglix or other e-commerce websites. Similar kind of e-commerce website, government e-marketplace is there. So most of the buying activities now of goods and services have transferred, to GEM portal. So that is why, if you want to supply to GEM, I tell you about GEM also. What is the business volume of business you get on GEM? And then there is a trade receivables e-discounting system, tax portal. So this is to safeguard yourself against any delayed payment. Obviously, if you are supplying through GEM to government buyers, then your payment is safeguarded over there, because the GEM has got the mechanism structure framework, where before placing the order, the amount has to be blocked, and then you are assured the payment, within I think 15 days, and for the tax portal, if you are not going through GEM, you are going through elsewhere, and not only to government and PSU buyers, but also certain corporate buyers whose turnover is more than 500 crore. So if they are your client, it is better you register on tax portal as an MSME with the Udyam registration. It will be free of cost for you. And with this tax portal, once a work order has been allocated to you, purchase order has been issued to you, you can upload that purchase order against and select that particular client buyer as a buyer, and then he will acknowledge it. Once you have executed the services or delivered the goods, the invoices which you give to him, you have to upload over here also. He has to acknowledge that invoice, and then once he has acknowledged, if any dispute is there, he will raise that on the tax portal. So once he has acknowledged, then your payment is assured either by the buyer or through the banks participating in tax portal. So you can get that benefit, and safeguard, because if you have not done business dealings earlier, then you might not be familiar about this pinch point of MSMEs. They have delayed payment, and this payment is delayed for sometimes, for 5 years, 10 years, and then what happens, people, these MSMEs, they go out of business due to non-availability of cash. So it's a major issue in the MSME sector, delayed payment. That is why government came up with this tax portal, where if the buyer is not paying, the bank will pay you, and these three parties will be there. Participating banks will be there, buyer will be there, and you as a MSME vendor will be there. So you can take the money from the bank, and then the bank will pay, has the responsibility of getting the money from the buyer. So you will be on the side, you will get out of that deal, and you can get the money back in time. So this is, you can select this as per your wish, and then you can submit and get final OTP, and then you will get an acknowledgement. You have successfully filed the registration. Let me show you one acknowledgement I have in my system. So you get received?
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you for that visiting. So your Udyam registration number is this, and so this acknowledgement you kindly note down this Udyam registration number because this is your permanent registration number, and then you can go back to the portal and you can use this print Udyam certificate, and you put the Udyam registration number and mobile over here which you file in the application. It may not be your other link mobile number, and then you can choose you want to be on mobile or email. And then once you do this, and then your account will open up. Over there you can update the details or you can print your Udyam certificate. So Udyam certificate will be a single page certificate, or see, I'll show you this sample. Can you see this Udyam certificate? So it will be a single page certificate. It will look like this. So this is the certificate, one page certificate, and or there's also an option. With the certificate, you can print your the details which you have filled. The next step. This is the next step. So these are your details, sensitive details, about your bank. See, your bank details are over here, and your turnover, everything, So these details are not there in the main certificate. So your sensitive details are kept in the annexure. So wherever you go participating in tender or you don't want to show your this information. You can only use your you may use your only this certificate. So let me go back to the presentation. I hope this is clear, and you will be able to do it. It's a pretty simple process. So this I have already told. So this I have told. So these are the benefits. So I don't need to talk about the benefits. So there are huge multiple benefits of this. Wherever you go to bank for loan, they will ask for MSME certificate. For subsidy schemes.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yes.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. So actually, you have mentioned that under one Udyam registration we can have any number of NIC codes. That's number one. So, hello. Sir, am I audible?
Yes. Sorry,
Yes,
I'm using yes.
Yeah. I will repeat my question, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
When I am registering for an Udyam, can I is there any limitation on the number of NIC codes? I actually want to get into services, that is, I want to get into consulting, and at the same time, I also want to conduct marketing research plus training. But I have seen in the NIC codes that they are classified under various categories.
Yes.
So I was hesitant to apply for this. I was, lagging behind for the last 1 month. I was just thinking whether to go ahead or not. I was under the dilemma. So is there any limitation, or what is the maximum limit of NIC codes that we can apply under one?
So right now there is no limit. Earlier there used to be a limit of 10 NIC code, but that limit is removed, I think. So there is no limit, so you can add multiple, and on your Aadhaar card you can only do one of them registration.
That's what. Yeah, that's okay.
Yes, so
and
you have
second,
to include that.
after this, we have to meet the DIC officer in our district, sir.
You can DIC officer in district, for other things you can take assistance of him. You don't need to go over there.
Okay,
Everything is online. See, government has made under ease of doing business. They have made a lot of reforms, and they have done everything online. So if you want, you can go over there. But if you are comfortable working online and uploading application online, you have to come and you want to hide your identity. You don't want to meet them, government office. You don't want to get into all that hassle. Then you can do everything online. Even loan application, you can do it online. I'll show you that also if time permits.
Okay, sir. And what is the link between this and DPIT? Actually, when I'm enrolling myself in certain webinars and all, they are asking are you DPIT registered? Do you?
Startup, yes.
Yeah. So is there any link between this and that?
So actually, that is a parallelly running government scheme exclusively for startups. Now we have seen a lot of startups are MSMEs. So we know because MSME is basically the investment and turnover criteria. So as a startup, you may fall mostly you will fall under MSME. Okay. Once your turnover you exponentially grows, then you will come out of the MSME slab. So initially you will be MSME. So that link is there, only that link. But that DPIT, I will show you that if time permits. How to do that? That is a startup registration, and there are most of benefits for startup as well.
Thank you,
especially,
sir.
Yes, this angel tax, exemption on angel tax, which is for investors, investors who invest, in seed rounds, they see if you are registered, they don't have to pay angel tax. Whatever money they are investing will go to the startup. You don't have to pay tax on that. So,
I have a doubt, sir.
yes,
Sir, artistic business also can be added in this, sir.
100%.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Only those activities, agriculture and farming activities, I have told that is excluded because those are considered agriculture activities. In that also, if you are doing allied activities to agriculture, still you can register under MSME. And if suppose you want to, the list I have told you, and you want to see that list, I'll show you where that is over here. The activities I'll show you. That is the activities. See, NIC not covered under MSME. If you click on this, so you will get
Yes, sir.
the list which I showed you. See, these gambling and betting activities are not included. And these activities, maintenance, repair of motor vehicle, earlier it was not covered, but it is now covered. So even you are having a workshop, two-wheeler, four-wheeler workshop, that is also covered under this. Street vendors are also included. So this is the entire document, which you will find all activities, which are covered and which are not covered.
Thank you, sir.
So I'll go back to my presentation.
So just one more question.
Yes.
I'm trying to start an apparel business. I'm printing t-shirts. So the thing is that I myself don't have equipment. I'm having someone else done for it. So how do I put the address?
So yes, now that is what, the line between manufacturing and trading is thinning now. Most of the companies, they are doing what is called as white labeling. So they get the work done from other shops. They don't want to take that risk and get into that hassle. And they want to establish their brand, and they want to focus on marketing, engineering, designing. So in that, you put wherever you are running the business from, you put that. And also, when you are outsourcing it, you will have some formal agreement, with this kind of shops, which are doing job works for you.
I'm actually drop shipping it, sir. I'm not having it white labeled.
Okay. Okay. So no, any case, whatever it is, see, you are selling under your brand, and you are doing the designing and everything. You are getting part of the work executed, or most of the work executed from it. But you are doing something yourself also. You are doing some value addition to it. It falls under manufacturing, and you can put your office address. And if you have a legal contract agreement, or MOU with the shop, which is doing that, factory which is doing that, then you can use that address.
Okay, right.
You have that address proof, in the MOU. So because now you are self-declaring it, nobody is going to check. But when you are applying for a loan or something, then they will come for inspecting also, or you are participating in a government tender or anything, then they will see whether you have the capacity to execute that work or not. So you have to show them that place, and the agreement will have, document will cover the address and everything.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, welcome. So, so these verticals are there under MSME. One is access to credit, which is most important. Then you want to upgrade your technology, buy new machinery, so that we are supporting through various schemes. And then you want to develop your entrepreneurship and skill set of yourself or your employees, So we are having these training programs. And then marketing assistance is there, So we have various kind of schemes under that. so which provide you marketing assistance. So let me start with the access to credit. So for startups, the best scheme to apply if you do not have a big project, like crore or more than that, if project cost is below 50 lakhs for manufacturing and below 20 lakh for service industry which you are planning to start, then best scheme is PMEGP, Prime Minister's Employment Management. So over here, this is the beneficiary's contribution in that scheme. For example, you have a project technique of 50 lakhs and then you want finance on that. Then you have to be having for general category, if you fall in this general category, then you need to from your own side, your contribution should be 10%. 10% of 50 lakhs, that is 5 lakhs, should be from your side. And remaining part, you can combination of loan and subsidy. So for special category who fall under this category, they have to come up with only 2.5 lakhs, 5% of that. And if you are that proposed location where your factory will be established is urban area, then you get 15% subsidy. But if it is a rural area, it is 25% subsidy. Now this is for general category. And the remaining amount will be given as a loan by the bank. And if you fall in the special category, then urban area industry will get 25% and rural area industry will get 35%. So if you fall into the special category and you want to set up in rural area, then you will get the maximum subsidy of 35%. So if your project cost, it is above this value, then the subsidy will be limited to this part. The 35% subsidy or this subsidy will be limited to 50 lakhs only. Whatever is over that, you will not be eligible for subsidy on that additional amount. But obviously, the loan will be given by the bank, covering the entire project. So this simple application procedure is there. You have to go to this portal, kbiconline.gov.in. So this is the nodal agency, Khadi Village Industries Commission. This is the nodal agency for this scheme. It is under Ministry of MSME, Upper Ministry of Commerce District Concern. So you have to go to this website and the PMEGP portal, and you have to online application form for individual. You have to click over here. Or if you are partners, then you have to select this online application form for non-individual. So let me maximize it full screen. So can you see it now? The PMEGP portal. Full screen. Hello, am I audible?
This is not in full screen mode, sir.
It's not in full screen mode. Okay, but you are able to see that still the old one. You are seeing the old one. Okay. So are you able to see now? Zoomed in or okay. Anyways, I'll show you the actual portal over here. So I'll show you. If you just Google this, remember this KVIC and PMEGP. These two keywords. Google it. The first result will be this PMEGP home KVIC online. You go over here. So are you able to see the portal of new?
Yes, sir.
So application for new unit, apply. Once you apply, then you become a registered applicant. You can log in and you can track the status of your application. Now, those who have already availed loan under PMEGP, now they want to expand, buy new additional machinery as per the requirement of the market, and this. So they can apply for second loan also. So once you apply, the official nodal agency is there, which receives your application. So they will log in and they will process your application. And then
said like,
what is that? So the bank login, once it is cleared from the nodal agency, it goes to bank and bank approves that. So they call you for interview. There's a process which happens. So over here you see this these other things also. Online EDP is there. You can undergo that training online EDP and get the certificate. Then you can download some project reports are there, sample project report. If you click on this, several project reports will show you all these project reports. So you can see, for example, I go to which one? Auto garage, service and textile industry, or assembly and home security system. You go over here. So you click on the view. So it will give you a sample project report, indicative project report. So you can use this, to make your project report. You have to upload a project report in your application form. And this is the video tutorial on how to apply. So if you think it's a short video, I think of about 14 minutes duration, and you can learn how to apply. But it is pretty simple. You did not go to that. So apply for new unit. Again, your Aadhaar card will be verified, and then you can select the sponsoring agency. So mostly I suggest you select DIC, District Industry Centers, so that then it is easier, one point of contact. You can also select KVIC, it's up to you, but you also have to take certain approvals from DIC offices, so you have to fill all this. And you can select your preferred bank over here, first and second. And then there is something called as CGT-MSE, so under which you did not provide collateral. So PMEGP is covered under this Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Entrepreneurs. So even if you don't have collateral, like a land or something, as a secondary security as a collateral for the loan application, you can select over here, yes, I want to avail under this scheme, and then you can apply that. So this is the application process. So let's proceed. I told you this. So this is. So CGT-MSE scheme, it will give you this collateral coverage, So up to, see, these are the various categories. Micro enterprises, for all micro enterprises up to 5 lakh loan, 85% will be covered under CGT-MSE. That is maximum of 4.25 lakh is covered. Remaining amount you have to provide some collateral. It could be a hybrid collateral. And for above 5 lakhs, up to 50 lakhs, 75%, maximum 37.5 lakh is covered by CGT-MSE. So remaining amount you have to give collateral to that. So you can do this hybrid collateral, some collateral and then under CGT-MSE. So above 50 lakh your project is there, then up to 150 lakh is covered. So this is there. So for special category entrepreneur, up to 50 lakh, 80% will be covered. So there is about 37.5 lakh. So that additional is there. And for trade also, for who are doing trading activity, they can also apply for loan and get collateral coverage. So this is the process is straightforward. We don't have to know all about this. We just have to tell that I don't have a collateral, in your application form, business application, MSME loan application form, and then I need collateral from CGT-MSE. If your project profile is good and banker is considering it, then bank will apply on your behalf from CGT-MSE and take the collateral coverage from that. But remember, this trust, Central Credit Guarantee Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises, they charge some fee for providing that credit. It is on an average, it is 1.5%. That will be added. Bank will add to your loan interest. So if your loan interest is 8% or 9%, it will become 10.5%. An additional 1.5%. So these all things are there. Some micro details, Mudra Yojana is there, So the advantage of this is you require working capital requirement, for your recurring expenses or executing an order, then immediately up to 10 lakh you can go to a nearest bank or the bank branch which you are banking with. You can apply for Mudra loan immediately. It will be cleared because they don't have to take approval from higher ups. Directly the branch manager can approve this loan. So the turnaround time is quite fast in this, and interest rate is nominal. So various categories, 50,000 means documentation is very less, just 1-page application, and then some increased document, 3-page documentation. And if it is above 5 lakh to 10 lakh, then a detailed loan application you have to fill, and so that is there. So up to 50,000 loan application immediately you will get it, maybe within a week time. So I am not doing. This is other important scheme, Stand Up India. So now you have to see this. The Stand Up India for those entrepreneurs, and only for women entrepreneur or SC entrepreneur or ST entrepreneur. And business project cost starting from 10 lakhs to 1 crore. So those are covered under this. You can apply over here. And this is an online portal where you can apply. So it should be a new enterprise. It should not be your existing enterprise and you are starting, or you are somebody wants to sell his enterprise, you want to buy and you want to again understand that India, that will not work. You are starting a new enterprise, then you can start. And the margin money over here is 15%. Margin money is contribution from your end in the business. So as per this scheme, all bank branch per year 1 year they have to give they have to sanction one Stand Up India loan at least. All banks have to do that. All branch of the bank to at least one SC or ST borrower and at least one woman entrepreneur. So that is so a lot of banks are there which are looking for applications under Stand Up India. If you do that the loan process will be quicker because bank will be interested to complete their target. So these are the details. So again, collateral coverage is offered under CGT-MSE. Over here you can apply. So there is a portal for that. Stand Up India, standupmitra.in. I'll show you that. You go to this standupmitra.in. This is specifically meant for Stand Up India. So you have to click over here. Click here for handholding support or apply for loan. So now what it is doing, it has redirected me to this Udyam Mitra portal of SETB, Udyam Mitra. So this is an integrated loan application where you can apply under various, for example, I go to this Udyam Mitra, then Mitra application I can do any loan application I can do in this. So Stand Up India also. So you have to first register yourself by putting your name, email ID, mobile number, generate OTP and then log in. So once you have user ID and password, then you can log in. So I've got some Stand Up India applications, so I think I have somebody say login ID. It's not sure. So okay, I could have shown you the application, how it looks like. So you have to have a detailed project report because it will ask you the costing, the projections, everything you have to fill in over there. And if you are seeking a composite working capital and term loan, details of it, what you are going to buy. So all details you need to be ready with. It is a detailed loan application, online loan application. Then you can select the bank, and then it will be forwarded to those banks. So moving ahead. This is a Stand Up India scheme. So now there is certain schemes to support innovation, and most of the startups, they will do some innovation, maybe major or trivial, because in this competitive scenario, if you want to start a new business, you have to come up with some certain new offerings which is attractive to the market. Only then you can, in this competitive market, you can make a place for yourself. So we have incubation scheme, we have business incubators, various universities, we have approved them as a host institution, which can support and incubate your idea. And then funding is provided by our department, and the expertise of the university will be given to you. So you can make a prototype to a proof of concept or market trial or anything you can get that done. So up to 15 lakh per idea is provided, and seed capital is also provided under this scheme. So see, what is the objective is to promote and support untapped creativity of the individuals like yourselves, and who are the host institution in this, who are empaneled, and where you can apply, you can approach and apply. Most of technical college, university college, other property college which are empaneled, you can apply over there. Then students or MSMEs who have Udyam registration, they can go to the host institution and apply for their idea. So you get up to 15 lakh per idea, now this money is not provided to you; it is given to host institution. So they will decide how to develop and nurture the idea. You will propose and they will approve and they will assist you in doing that. And also up to 1 crore seed capital is provided. Now this 1 crore is for the incubators, like Osmania University and other universities. They can avail this funding from our ministry. For assisting you, they will need some infrastructure. They need to upgrade the existing infrastructure. So they can buy testing machinery, other things. They can buy up total. But the seed capital assistance is there. Of 1 crore it is there. So this coming in. This is the seed capital assistance. So financial assistance up to 1 crore is provided through SIDBI. It is provided, and equity ratio, equity will be shared. Obviously, because any investor, they are investing in your business in startup. You do not have collateral, you do not have credibility at that point. And they are interested, in your idea. So it's not a loan. It is through equity ratio. That funding is provided. It's a grant. You don't have to pay back. Only 20% of the equity will be taken by SIDBI. So that is there. And let me go to other important things. So after this is IPR. So obviously, if you have a good idea, which clears the patentability criteria, which is novelty. 3 criteria are there, for an idea to be patentable: novelty, inventive step, and usefulness or industrial applicability. So these 3 criteria being satisfied, you can apply for a patent, so that you can have monopoly for at least 20 years in the market, or till the economic value of that technology or the product. So you can apply for patent and then patent is territorial. So if you apply for Indian patent, you will protect it in India also, India only. And if you want protection in other overseas market also, where you see scope for your product or technology, you need to apply over there also. So for Indian patent, up to 1 lakh is reimbursed. Whatever expenditure you have made, once the patent is granted to you, up to 1 lakh will be reimbursed. And for foreign patent, for example, you apply in US or in some European country or entire European Union, so up to 5 lakhs of expenses. These are government charges, processing fee, or legal translation, or anything which you incur up to the grant, not the renewal fee or the maintenance fee of the patent. And for trademark, at the start, business, not only startup, all businesses have trademarks. They need to register their trademark. And so trademark is synonymous with brand. So up to 10,000 is reimbursed. So for you, for MSME, the charges, government charges for filing trademark, one application is 4,500, and the processing professional charges will be there, by the agent, trademark agent. So all inclusive, everything, up to 10,000 is reimbursed per application, subject to the actual expenditure. And even for design registration, you have some certain aesthetic design for your product, it's unique, and you want to register that, and you get protection up to 15 years for that. 10 years initially, then you can renew for another 5 years. So for that, up to 15,000 is reimbursed per design registration. And obviously, that IP facilitation center is yes.
In this regard, I have a doubt. Sir,
Yes.
we made a logo. We want to go for a trademark.
Yes.
So can we directly apply in MSME or what, sir?
So trademark, there is a trademark registry. There are offices. So for Hyderabad, the trademark registry is in Chennai. The Control General of Patent Design and Trademark Office, which is there in Gindi in Chennai. So you have to apply over there. So you can do the manual application. You can go to the registry, take the form, fill it up, and attach your trademark and your KYC documents, everything, and you can fill over and give to them. Or you can do it online through IP India website. Let me show you the IP India website. So these are there, done by them. So relevant to you would be patent, design, or trademarks. Most relevant thing will be trademarks. So over here, so before applying for a trademark or shortlisting of a keyword, for your brand or a logo, you do a public search for the trademark. You do a public search, and see whether that is available for filing. Because if you search a word which is already taken, like for example, Apple, in mobile, or Apple in any category, now because it has become a well-known trademark, it will not be granted to you. So you have to put your trademark. For example, you want to say Anthony. You want to use this brand name. You have to see the class, because there are 45 different NICE, nice classification of trademark pertaining to the activity you do. So some manufacturing, some services you have to find. For example, Manthoni is a pharmaceutical preparation, then it will come under class 5. So I have to see class 5. This is optional, I think. So you can do the search and see Manthoni. So no default form, it is available. Basic search tells me that it is available. I can go for the registration under class 5. No, but it may not be. You have to do Google search also. Over there also see Manthoni. You see anywhere, and what happens, that saves your time and money, because your trademark is not available, then so far I don't see any result over here. So Manthoni is there, not Manthoni. So Manthoni, so it is confusingly similar, Manthoni. So this you may have objection on this, and your application will be wasted, So that is why just go and check which class they have applied. If they have not applied in class 5, then you can go ahead and you can apply for it. So go back to IP India. So for example, instead of Manthoni, I search, like decode or some familiar, it will immediately show it is registered, to whom it belongs, and what are the different classes under which it is registered. It will give all details about it. So that search you have to do, and then you can apply for that trademark. E-filing trademark. Go over here. Then first you have to sign up. Now remember, if you want to apply yourself, let me tell you first, who is eligible for applying. So the owner of the trademark, it could be you or your business, So you can apply, or you can, or an attorney can apply on your behalf, or a registered trademark agent, they can apply. So if you go to attorney or registered trademark agent, they will charge some fees also for application. If you do it yourself, it will be free of cost. Only 4,500 that government filing charges you have to do. You have to see proprietor, agent, or attorney. You have to select this, and then you have to enter your code. This code will come. Once you do the registration. So this is there. And what it requires, it requires a digital signature class 2 also. So that you have to upload over here and verify your details through that digital signature. So once you do that, so what happens, over here, if you are selecting proprietor, and you select some company, for example, let us see. See, it will show you this party code. So what are these? These are registered forms from the MCA databases. So you have to select this. So it has taken that code, and then you have to register, and then you have to proceed, and then it will ask you digital signature for verification. That you are the person who you claim to be. So that is the thing. You can do this. And then simple form is there, which I'll show you. What is the form? Forms and fees. This is for payments. I have the sample of the form with you. How it looks like. So there is a trademark form which you have to. It is a pretty simple form. So I am not able to find it. It is there somewhere in my. So you have to fill that online form which comes, once you proceed with that, and which I told you just, with your digital signature being verified, after that form opens up and you have to provide the information. So, and over here also you see list of well-known trademarks. So you can do the search over here also, well-known trademarks. So that well-known trademarks you cannot apply in any class. So if it is synonymous with those well-known trademarks, all these well-known trademarks, then you better change your brand name. At the initial stage you can change your brand name. Later on it will be difficult for you because already your market knows you by your brand. So that will be there. So anyways, what I'll show you this trademark certificate, how it looks like. Once you are granted, then you get a trademark certificate which looks like this. This is the trademarks from the trademarks registry. You will get, this is the number of the certificate. This is the trademark number. On this date, it has been registered. So this is the trademark. Bill shopping in class 1. And class 1 is litmus paper, activate charcoal, adhesives, all these things. So it is registered to this company. So this is how your trademark. So you can do the reimbursement application. For the reimbursement application, you have to go to this MSME mine.msme.gov.in. For all reimbursement by our Ministry of MSME, you will find everything is available over there on this portal, mine.msme.gov.in. So see, you can see Udyam registration also, link is there. You can do Udyam registration, it will take you to the right link. And then incubation also you can apply through here. Idea incubation. You have an idea, you can apply. It will take you to that particular portal. So like that, you have IPR will be here. IPR. So it is intellectual property right. Trademark is part of intellectual property right. You have to go over. And this for exhibition also we have subsidy if you want to participate in exhibition. That comes under PMS. So you can click over here. And you have certain doubts, anything you want to inquire, then we have champions for everything. Doubt, complaint, problem, issues. This is single portal champions. So this goes inside. I'll show you how to apply for your trademark if you have trademark registered. Patent procedure is a bit complicated. I would not advise you to do it by yourself. You can use an attorney or a registered patent agent who is experienced in that particular domain where you want to apply the patent. Or for trademark also, I think the professional fees is around 2,000 or 3,000, just for filing. And then if an objection comes replying that, they charge separately. And there are various online services like Urban Clap gives you that, and this Vakil Search, India e-filing, they do. And plus, I have some contacts with registered agent, so they give a discount for MSMEs, so if you can go to them also. And if you want to file a trademark or a patent, you can always come to my office. I am also the IPR nodal officer for Telangana for MSMEs. You can take the consultancy. Whether you should go for patent, whether it will be useful economically or trademark. How many trademarks you should go for. To cover your product. So all these consultancy, we can do for you over here. So the internet is a bit slow over here, so I'll just proceed and cover other parts. So for design also, you are an MSME, but you are not focused into design, but you want to upgrade your design through engaging design expert consultant. So that you can do. And for engagement of design consultants for design intervention for your product, the Government of India contribution 75% for micro enterprises, 60% percent for others, and the project cost should be up to 40 lakhs. And if you for students also, if students who have good creative mind, and they can modify design, provided they join up with MSME and it is useful to MSME, then 75% of the expenses incurred in creating the design or the student fee, the fee which student is charging to the MSME unit will be reimbursed, maximum up to 2.5 lakh. So that 2.5 lakh student can take, provided that design should be for MSME. So the MSME applies and he says that this is the charges for designing for that design intervention by the student. So this is under design, you can apply. So again, that my.msme.gov.in, you have to go into IPR. So for trademark reimbursement, for design reimbursement, or for this design projects, you have to apply under that. So seed capital I told you about. So we also have this Z scheme. This is only for manufacturers and who are already implementing certain quality standards and good manufacturing practices, in their enterprises. So for them, they can go ahead and they can take this certification Z scheme, which right now is very nominal and free of cost. If you want to take bronze certification in this, so they can go and apply for this Z certification. So you have 3 levels: bronze, silver, and gold. And so MSMEs who are having the registration, they can participate in this. Or everybody can take a Z pledge. If you are startup, you are into manufacturing, and you may not comply with all the quality standards which they check, but you can take the Z pledge. The Z pledge is for everyone. So Z basically means zero defect and zero effect. So the manufacturing, you are committing to that with manufacturing you are doing will turn out to be with the products will be of minimum defect, and plus there will be zero impact, negative impact on the environment due to your manufacturing or your service activity. Okay. So lean manufacturing is also there. So this is for a cluster of unit. So earlier there were 10 units minimum required. Now minimum 4 units engage in similar kind of activity. They can come together and they can take services of our empaneled lean consultant, and they have to bear only 20% of now. Remember, these lean consultants, they are expert consultants, who are engaged by top companies like Mahindra, Maruti, and all the big firms. They engage them, so they have expertise and they can make a difference. By they will be hand-holding you, visiting your unit and guiding you for 1.5 years. They will be with you. 7,000 per unit, and then it's very cheap, and you can get their expertise, and you can implement the lean tools in your manufacturing, which will increase your efficiency, reduce your wastages, and increase profitability. So national awards are there. You can apply for national awards here. So the call comes out every year. You can visit our portal, and we send it through newspaper also on our websites, and you can apply under various category, and you can be awarded. So public procurement also, reservation is there. So all PSU, government, they have to procure at least 25% of their total annual procurement of goods and services from MSMEs. MSMEs means only MSEs, micro and small, not medium. So if you have the Indian registration, then you can enjoy this reservation for MSE. And then out of that 25%, 4% should be from SC/ST owned MSEs, and 3% from women-owned MSEs. So this MSME Sambandh website is there, where you can see the procurement, what they are doing, how much they have procured. So you can see over here, procurement from MSE is 38.74% last year, and 55 CPSEs, Central Public Sector under enterprises have reported. So total procurement done by them was 12,768 crore. This is from and you can see they are not able to meet this target from SC/ST. This should be 4%, but it is only 0.59%. So if you are an SC/ST entrepreneur and you fall into MSME slab, do their registration and look out for tenders for CPSEs. If you are L1, definitely you will get the tender, because these guys want to fulfill their target. Even for women-owned MSE enterprises, also same thing. It should be 3%. I think we are short of time. I just proceed with some important things relevant to you right now. So beside availing certain benefit, you also have to register an MSME data bank and give your details besides the original registration certificate. So you have to do this also for certain schemes. So I told you about my MSME. So my MSME is a single portal where you can file everything, avail subsidy, everything. So it looks like this. I showed you this thing. So there is a delayed payment portal also. So right now it is not relevant to you. When in case you have delayed payment, you can apply, go to this portal, and you can apply and you can submit your case over here against any buyer. Procurement and marketing support. So we offer subsidy. So these are the various components. So mostly, which is useful for you is you want to participate in some exhibition in high-techs, which will expand your market, bring in more business prospects for you. Then you can avail subsidy. So for women and SC/ST entrepreneurs, 100% subsidy of the stall charges up to a ceiling, and then other contingency charges are there which is reimbursable. So which shows that, so up to 1.5 lakhs is there for A-class cities like Hyderabad. For other small cities, it is up to 1 lakh. And for general category entrepreneur, it is 80%. So for example, 1 lakh you pay, so 80,000 will be reimbursed, or will be directly if it is being organized with Ministry of MSME. Then if the organizers have applied, they can also apply in this portal, and you do the ask for a stall, register for a stall in that exhibition, and then along with your written registration, then you have to pay only 80% of the charges for general entrepreneur. For women and SC/ST, it's free. So these things are there. So also for foreign trade fair, the same thing is applicable, plus your flight charges also, economy tickets are also reimbursed. So those are details of the thing, so it requires time, and if you are planning to participate as an MSME, then you can visit us. We have a dedicated nodal officer for this scheme, so we will facilitate you in that. So all these things are there. So these are not relevant to you at this moment, so I am skipping this. Cluster development program. So it is a cluster of industry. So like we have JD Mitla Industrial Association, we have this fiberglass cluster over here. We have in Prashanti Nagar fan manufacturers, fan and fan component manufacturers. So that is the cluster. So certain scheme targeting them is there. Like common facilities center for all units, where they can get their testing done from a machine which is normally very expensive to afford by an individual unit. So government bear the cost of that. Establishes that CFC. The state government will provide land and bear part of the cost. Once it is approved, so everything is done. Machine will be installed, funding will come, and then the units in that cluster, they can utilize that common facility. Government market e-market portal is there. I'll show you that. You can register yourself as a seller over there and get access to sign up as a seller, and the process is there. You go over there. So what is the advantage over here? See, these are common popular categories. Yes, you can register as a trader, you can register also as a manufacturer or service provider. So see, this is the total number of products and total transaction value since GEM came. GEM started in 2016, but actual activity is picked up in 2018. Since 2018, we have this data, so total transaction value. See, 2,66,191. So you see the big market, government market, you can sell and you can make use this opportunity. So this is there. Another thing, see, if you are getting confused in GEM, you have to go down. There are GEM facilitators nominated over there. You go to training and facilitators. So these guys will help you. So for Telangana, you have one Ravi Verma. He is Mr. Ravi Verma is a business facilitator. So you have some difficulty in registering and uploading your catalog, everything, you can contact him, you can email him, and support him. Otherwise, help desk is there, helpline number you can contact. So we have a buyer account over here. So we buy through MSMEs, over here. So we have been procuring, out of our annual procurement, at least 50%, is procured through MSE. So this is a e-discounting portal I told you about to safeguard yourself from delayed payment. So you have 3 portals: RXAI.in, M1 Exchange, and Invoice Mart. So you can register on this portal. So you can register all of them as well. You have to remember where is your buyer. It may be a ESC buyer, government buyer, or a corporate company having turnover of more than 500 crores. If they are registered on RXIL, then you should register RXIL only, because you are going to interact with them online. Upload your the work order which they have issued you, and upload your invoices, against that buyer. So trades is a separate. There is a team for trades, so they can assist. They will assist you, onboarding on that portal. These are the benefits I told you. So these are in our office, the district nodal officers for the respective district. So this is my name, and I am the district nodal officer for MEDA, Siddipet and Sallarity district for MSME. And we have total 11 officers, you can see over here. So this list is available on our website as well. So you go to our website. So this is the website. So we are in the process of launching the new website also. We have done most of the works. So then we will migrate to the new website. So you can see all the details over here. And you will see the services offered, the scheme related, and you can contact us. You can find these things over here. So I'm just working on holiday list. If you want to visit us, MSME officers list. So everything is there. You will get this. So and trade wise, and what are the works they are looking after. Like I told you about, if you want to participate in exhibition and you want to upload your application for subsidy support in exhibition, then you have to go for who is looking after PMs. You want to upload your this trademark reimbursement application, then you have to go after IPR, who is looking after IPR. So I am looking after IP, PFC, so you have to approach me. I will facilitate you with regards to your need of IP. And also, this is our head office at their website. So DCMSME.gov.in, where you can see the scheme, booklet of scheme is an e-book where you can see, and details of each scheme you can see over here. So what are the latest things happening over here? Or you can approach us, based on your specific requirement, and we will guide you. You don't need to know all these things. The specific thing, what you want, we will suggest you what is the best course of action. So that is it, so I'll open it, for questions, doubts, You can ask me questions. Are you guys there? My pleasure, it's because, and I want to thank people, Osmania Technology Business Incubator also, and especially Dr. Mohammed Zahurullah, who organized this program, because we wanted to communicate with you, but because of our busy schedule, we don't get that opportunity. But he has organized that program, and Osmania Technology Business Incubator has organized this program for you guys, and I get this opportunity to explain. Yes.
Sir, I have a doubt for newly established incubation centers. You have any support, sir, for them to grow in a proper way?
Incubation center.
Yes, sir.
Are you from Osmania University?
Our college is under Usmania only, affiliated to Usmania,
Okay.
but we are autonomous body, autonomous college.
Okay, what is your college name?
St. Joseph, sir, we have registered under Societies Act with the help of Usmania University.
Okay.
So we want like
Is it an engineering college?
not engineering, sir. It's a science, commerce and management.
Commerce and management. So I think it will be difficult, we have a business incubation scheme, which is actually MSME innovative scheme and a sub-component under that, support to incubators. So in that we provide incubation support. You can apply, to my MSME portal. Let me show you. You go to mymsme.gov.in. So this will open. You go to this. Idea incubation. You go over. Then see this is also going on. Idea hackathon. So new HIVI registration. You can go over here. As a host institution or as a business incubator, you can register. So you have to do this registration and submit, and then you have to log in and apply. As a host institution, your support for incubators. So you get funding up to 1 crore for operating infrastructure. Plus, students and MSMEs can apply for their ideas, new ideas. To be incubated at your college. But mostly what we are looking for, colleges with that expertise. There is a criteria which is mentioned under the MSME innovative scheme. So especially you are an engineering college, then you will have that facilities to support ideas, and also the faculty experts available with you. So it is most likely to get approved.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome. So, anybody else, they want to talk about their idea or something, and they want to start a new business and they are not sure about certain things, they can ask me.
Any other queries from the participants? Our next speaker is already here, waiting.
Okay. So, sir, then I'll take a lead. So, for IP consultancy, trademark patent, you can come to my office, Baranagar, newly built flyover, MSME Development Institute office there, and you can ask for me. My name is Bist, and so I can help you in patent or trademark.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the information, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you, sir.
Happy to hear Dr. Bist. Is Ramjee here. When being an incubator, we kind of looking forward to this kind of schemes and programs, and great presentation. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll take leave, and you can come to our office, incubator, if you want to apply, we can facilitate you. So Mr. K.C. Chaudhary is there, he will assist you in business incubation. And for IPFC, you think, you can run an intellectual property facilitation center at your place, for that I will assist you.
Just a quick question. Are the new guidelines open for applying for incubators for the scheme?
Yes.
Chaudhary sir bole mujhe. So,
Yes, it is open.
oh,
Yes.
oh.
Yes.
So I think I'll reach out to you. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. So I take leave now, and thank you everyone for patiently listening. Thanks to TBI and thanks to Dr. Hafiz Bhai. Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you so much, sir. Now I request our next speaker, Dr. Ramjee Pallela, sir, to please take over.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Hafiz and Dr. Zahoor, for this opportunity. I mean, although I don't know the backgrounds of the participants, always it's my pleasure to provide some information that I have regarding some grants, mostly into the bio side but otherwise also into IoT and ICT areas, how they can be actually helping some of the startups or academic faculty and students to become entrepreneurs, or maybe they can raise more funds as well. Since I have to actually I planned my talk till 4 p.m. 3 to 4 p.m. but I may be talking quickly about next 15-20 minutes only, so that we can interact more rather than presentation slides and all. But I'll show some of the slides you can actually capture for your what you can say future applications and all. So let me share my screen. Actually, I hope you are seeing my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'll just turn off my camera so that. So is it visible now? So.
Sir, visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So generally, when I'm talking to faculty and students pan India, I talk about what are the policies that we have in India, how the incubators, we have 750 plus incubators and accelerators that we have, and they're trying to actually nurture faculty members, students in the startups and other companies by providing funding or providing mentorship and infrastructure. So some of the insights I'll be giving AIC-CCMB as an example. Like we are supported by AIM Niti Aayog. So I think being a faculty member, some of the faculty members are the teachers and all. Every institute, private college or government college, they should be having their own institutional policy. So that is what the Institutional Innovation Council. If you have an IIC policy, or maybe you can call it as an EDC or an MSME, Entrepreneurship Cell, or NSTEDB, TBI, or whatever, the research organizations or maybe the educational institutions can have innovation policy. Like OU TBI is having its own policy. Okay, so you should be having this policy aligned with the MHRDs. So I think faculty members' responsibility to understand what are the incentives that government is giving and how you should be actually making avail of those particular incentives, right? So if you can see the policy in the MHRD policy, NISP, National Innovation Startup Policy, there are different thrust areas, how students will be benefited, how startups can be benefited, how student-based startups and as even faculty, if they're involved in these innovation activities. So I think please go through the students' attendance or faculty royalties, institutional IP sharing, all these things are well defined. So you have to understand, that is the first thing that I'll tell everywhere. And you have to create your own, sorry, this is a NIPER I mentioned here as an example. But any institute, you should be engaging with other stakeholders, be it financial departments, venture capitalists, government, non-government agencies, companies, like small companies as well as larger companies. And you have to create a network and you have to have a hand-holding with all of them. This will be your own institutional ecosystem. Okay, so I think I'm not going to tell much about the entrepreneurship because someone else may be covering. Some of the attitude-based issues I'm telling, everybody is having an idea, but you have to execute them boldly and persistently with a decision making as one of the keys of your journey. And you have to have your approach of seeing not only the tip of the iceberg, but also the girth of the iceberg. Then only your attitude of being a researcher to innovator come entrepreneur will be done in the due course of time. So I think being a science background or maybe some whatever the technology background, people think that okay, my idea is great, my innovation thought process is very good, I have this beautiful thing that can be commercialized immediately, but there are a lot of other factors one need to look into, whether it's a scale up, how to make it, how to make the prototype itself first of all, how to test and prove it, what kind of regulatory understanding that is involved, locally how it can play, globally how it can play, and what kind of licensing models that can be given, or if you want to sell, what are the modes of partnerships, and designs are industrially suitable or not. So I think when you are putting up the price point, cost versus to price, and all these things, consider as a business roadmap of your technology or commercialization plan, right? So having that, you need to question yourself, what are the pain points, I think these may be covered, Hafiz, I feel, but still I'm just trying to touch upon before I tell about the funding. So you need to look for different IP landscape, regulatory landscape, market landscape, and competitors landscape. Then you can actually go to the idea filtration, the best ideas then executed by best teams, and of course you look for the funding. That's where before funding also I think you have to do several other questions. I can share these slides later. You need to ask yourself several other questions. What is the market demand, and who are the target audience, etc., etc., and good team of commitment, competence, and willingness to adapt to good and bad situations, and self-motivation teams, and resource pipeline, very important, and also your market understanding and mitigation of risk, etc. I think these questions when you ask, and you also look for the what are the characteristics of an entrepreneur as well. So I think some of the startups are also here in the audience. You may be doing multiple tasks also, but I think it's a full-time job. Please remember, even faculty may see, I'll be doing faculty thing, but I have to start a company also. That can be possible, but have that heart for that. That is what I mean to say. And you have to fully focused, multi-domain experts of teams should be there. You have to actually drag your feet to whatever the places where this funding is available, conferences, network is happening and all, and your focus areas are to be defined. And I told you about the business plan. You need to take a lot of help actually. You need to talk to incubators, you need to talk to other industries, other government agencies, like the way MSME presentation that happened beautifully. You have to go and talk to them. Loan melas will happen or when they will happen. So you will be exposed to the ecosystem properly. Then you will get a lot of information. And yes, once the Kolaveri, the movement, if it comes, yes, you will be starting your journey as an entrepreneur, right? And decision making is key in each step. So coming to the funding, there are so many funding agencies, private agencies as well as government agencies that we have in India. A lot of funding is there in India, and brilliant job by Indian government actually. I think I can say having these 1.4 billion people in India and putting a lot of investments for these people for the betterment of the lives of Indian communities. I think tremendous job by the government of India in the past 7 to 10 years, because you can see the governments are working together, trying to push the innovation activities in the country, and the way we mitigated COVID and many other diseases are on the way to actually get mitigated. So many other problems, technological interventions. Not only we talk about the drones, we talk about the space technologies. Indian startups are actually doing something in the space area. I mean, I can give an example. One startup just incubated from yesterday. That company is trying to miniaturize some of the biological systems that can actually grow in gravity in the space. I think that kind of technologies are getting supported today in India thanks to the government. So I'm not going to read all of them, but quickly when you say this slide, idea level, some kind of fundings will be there, be it 1 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs. Once you have the MVP POC ready, then you will be going to the next level of funding. Maybe you can call seed or pre-seed. Again, that's about 25 to 50 lakhs or even 1 crore. Then you will be going to the $500,000 fund, that is maybe 2 crores, 2.5, 3 crores, 3.5, and then you will go to the 7 crores, 10 crores. So which stage of your entrepreneurship journey, whether it's idea stage, prototype stage, or small validation or large validation of your technology stage, or pre-commercialization or commercialization stage. Where do you want to pitch the funding? I think you have to know very meticulously, then only you can actually attempt, and then only you can get that funding. You can't actually simply ask 10 crores today when you're at the idea stage, right? So ask the funding as per the plan for next 1 to 2 years, and maybe at the pre-commercialization, so when you have the traction, maybe you can ask, okay, I need some 4 crores for next 2 years before I hit the market. You understand? I think this way you have to look for this kind of stages where the angel funding can come, where the venture capitalist can come, or private equity where you can dilute your equity. Debt funding, beautifully explained by Mr. Bist actually. So you need to understand actually, that is very important. In that sense, I think some of the schemes you may be knowing already. There are 4 gigantic funding agencies from government. One is BIRAC DBT and NSTDB DST, and Mighty Startup Hub of Mighty, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and also the 4th one is of course Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog. So these 4 as a major pillars of in India to support. Of course, CSIR is another way of actually supporting, like Nimitli schemes and many other collaborative schemes and industrial collaboration programs are there. So I think all these are actually working under science and technology, where department where lot of funding. So BIRAC, if you can see the programs, idea to commercialization, lot of calls or proposals. If you can see these current calls, if you can see PACE scheme, AIR scheme, Academic Innovation Research for Faculty. Okay, students also can apply for BIG, and some of the startups can apply for BIG grant as well as SIBRI and BIPP schemes. I'm not going to detail them, but yes, you can write to me offline, or you can ask me so that I can connect to the relevant people. So please apply to all these schemes. Even if you can see grant challenges in India, July 21st is deadline where diagnostics for neglected tropical diseases, NTDs, and lymphatic filariasis. If someone is having some kind of interventions in the healthcare, maybe starting from diagnostics, or also at the same time maybe any other disease management area, if you want to contribute, maybe you can look for the mandate of this proposal. But again, agriculture challenge, IKP and BIRAC are doing this. I think 15th is a deadline. And again, I told you just now about the PACE scheme, where AIR, CRS, and also SIBRI, BIPP. Each level of your innovation journey, you have enough funding in India. Only thing is that your dedication, your focus on that particular project and deliverables in a stipulated time. If you can able to address the case in your proposal, you're going to hit these grants, right? So AIM, I mentioned to you, other than the school and colleges innovation schemes, they already have startup funding also through ANIC ARISE grant. Okay, Atmanirbhar Innovation Challenge, India Challenge, or maybe Atal New India Challenge you can call. So this 50 lakhs grant also, like couple of startups of us, they got this grant. And the current second call also open. So you need to explore, you need to actually spend some time in the social media to get into this kind of information, so that you can actually get lot of information to apply for these grants. Again, NST is an old slide, but otherwise you can see Niti EIR scheme. Faculty members, if they need small funding of 10 lakhs to start, probably they can actually look for it. And Prayas grant is also there, and the seed fund is also there. If someone actually have the POC ready and having a validation plan ready, they can get this seed fund also. And this is Mighty. Not only healthcare, I'm talking here, healthcare, agri, life science is my forte, but still I can tell about clean technologies, fintech, edutech, and other areas, environmental tech. So you can actually look for Mighty's 40 centers in India. They are actually giving 4 lakhs grant and 7 lakhs grant. And in case if you through with these grants and investments, then you can go for 35 lakhs of 35 to 40 lakhs of seed fund also. So you need to start your journey depending on the status that you are having in your hand. I mean, I'm not going to cover much about school student programs and undergraduate. I mean, maybe quickly I can say Sitare, Gaiti, and SIIP and Prayas and all. And students happily they can apply. A lot of these grants from many of the incubators that we have in India, they are having these programs. SIIP is fantastic. 35 years of age, under 35 years of age, you'll get 50,000 rupees grant, and for a period of 18 months, and 5 lakhs kickstart grant also. You can apply in food and nutrition. You can apply in waste to value. I mean bioremediation or anything, and again healthcare like aging and health, maternal and child health, agriculture, etc. Right? So again, PhD postdoc level, different schemes are there. Yeah, the UICs are converted to EUI actually. So even by MK Ban Fund, that's a prestigious fellowship of 75,000 rupees fellowship, and some 25 lakhs grant will be given to that particular innovator. They can be translating their works towards a product or process by becoming an entrepreneur by using other medium of BIRAC and other funding agencies. So please try to touch base with these things. As I covered some of the funding agencies in India like this to support, quickly to say about venture capitalists and angels, I think you please read Inc. 42 and Your Story, and also digest articles as I put it here, or if you can Google also. I mean, any family members or friends, they may be putting known person, maybe 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, or 1 crore also in small money. But generally it is very less amount, again $25,000 to even $100K. But you know, when it comes to the VCs, even it is more actually, even $1 million or more. So I think that way the funding difference will be there, and also angels give some financial assistance for a runway of the startup, but at the same time VCs will be investing on the teams of the companies. Remember, teams, that means the founders. The seriousness of the founders and the infrastructure, of course some of the what you can say operation costs, etc. So again, early stage companies angels look into, but VCs definitely the traction level or pre-revenue level, right? And due diligence will be done by both companies. Angels also do, but mostly into less controversy in the angel funding, but VCs and all maybe more this thing, because they have a stringent way of kind of following the GD methods, etc. Angels are different than VCs, which are less diverse than Wall Street. Yeah. So generally, in India, the angels that they are funding into these kind of companies, yeah, definitely they are very much different than the ones that are available in Silicon Valley and all. So that's where the Bay Area practices are getting infused into the country. In at least half a dozen mails I get every month, or at least a quarter, from different people that they want to invest in the companies, even into the healthcare nowadays. So yeah, the seventh difference I don't read much, but yes, VCs also take a seat of the board. That is one way of they may try to enter the board opportunities of your company. That's where the startups have to be very cautious, and they have to be very stringent on being giving an opportunity for VCs and all. Anyway, so this is just quick difference I showed. But incubators, I don't want to tell. This is our incubator. A lot of funding programs and other supporting programs that we do, national and international supporting mechanisms. We also actually have not only typical incubation funding, but also small programs like Mighty Spurge, and also a couple of CSR programs that we got. And seed fund by NSTDB, and also from the Startup India Seed Fund. So these are our companies incubated here at AIC-CCMB. So it's first program, first cohort, and second cohort we onboarded 5 fellows recently, and this is TIDE program first cohort, and this is second cohort. Then school student innovators, some presented in Russia as well, where they are nurtured by AIC-CCMB. So brilliant teams, brilliant ideas. And seed fund, and also TIDE call is open now actually. 15th is the deadline. in 2 days. But yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for some early stage innovators to look into any ICT interventions in healthcare. So please look into this. The Startup India Seed Fund is just open. Maybe today you can open a company. Tomorrow you will register under DPIIT, and the day after tomorrow you can actually apply for this seed fund, because before 2 years of your incorporation of the company, you are able to get this grant up to 25 lakhs or 20 lakhs for the grant in aid, and up to 50 lakhs for the investment. So please try to use these opportunities for funding. This is a CPHMS program. They are doing some EMBO lecture series. You can look in case if someone is in the biology sector, they can look for this. And yeah, CCMB and AIC-CCMB did a lot of COVID-based activities by setting up some center of excellence and also other fine programs with all the diagnostics and devices that we did. Some of the scientists, they kind of in exploring to set up companies here. And yeah, CSR support of several companies. Sorry, I rushed through the slides because of my time, and also you are impatient probably. So now any questions are there, I'm happy to take quickly. Did you guys able to get something from my slides? Will there be any interest to be paid by the startups? Good question. Is it to me? Yeah, it's to me.
Yes, sir, it's for you.
Yeah. So basically, in case if it is Bharti madam, if there is a grant in aid support of 1 lakh, 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs, there is no need to pay any equity or what you can say CCD based or some kind of instruments are there. No need to. But if when the investment comes into picture, then probably there will be the incubators or maybe other investment agencies, they will be asking to pay some kind of equity and all. So maybe you need to dilute your stakes. And when you're asking about the interest, yeah, some of the funding modes is also like a soft loan, like Bayrak is also having. We also actually invested 40 lakhs in one company. That 40 lakhs, 50% of that is given as a simple, what you can say, grant in aid, and 50% of the grant is kind of minimal soft loan kind of this thing. So they need to pay small interest. That's it. So it's at the investment level, not at the early stage level.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good luck. Any other questions or something, just let me know, or maybe you can write to me also.
Yes, participants, any other queries you have?
Give my email address there so they can write to me also later, so that I'm happy to help them. Yeah, I think no more questions.
Yeah, I think no queries.
So probably, yeah. So thank you all for your patience to listen to my rush hour talk. So Dr. Hafiz, thanks for this opportunity, and let me know. I'm happy to help always because I'm part of OETBI advisory. So always happy to serve.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Yeah. Sorry, the previous session got extended, and you had to wait.
And because they are smart enough to get the information or screenshots, so they might have got some info. Otherwise, if they want my slides, let me know. Okay?
Sure, sir. Definitely. Now request our CEO, Dr. Darullah sir, to address.
Right, I'll be leaving. Okay. So, Dr. Zahur, thank you so much. Please excuse me now. Take care. Bye.
No, Dr. Ramjee, thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.